Hi, it's Lynn from LynnieCDesigns. Thank you for joining me today. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in West Sussex in the UK, and I'm coming on today to make a different version of this card. This week's Global Design Project Challenge is a theme and it's all about birthdays, so I thought I'd show you some really quick and easy birthday cards. This is one. I have used real red cardstock and I've used this image from Painted Poppies and the sentiment from Peaceful Moments. These two stamp sets, they're fairly new to me, although they came out last year. And the sentiments on this are brilliant, actually. You know, you've got birthday, sympathy, thank you, and I think they're really nice. There are dies that go with both sets, but I'm only using the stamps today. I have got a little bit of embossing. This is the Brick and Mortar 3D embossing folder, so I'm going to use that. As I said, this one is in real red and it's stamped onto Sahara sand using Sahara sand ink. So I've used watercolour pencils to colour in the flowers. I'm going to do the same again, and I've got Gorgeous Grape and Whisper White. That out the way. Just quickly run through. The base is basic white, side folding. It's half a sheet of A4 sort of cut long ways and then scored down the middle at 1.8, and this is 10.5. Then I've got a layer of Gorgeous Grape, still my favourite, even though I'm in love with the new fresh freesia. I've got a layer of Sahara sand. This is the bit I'm going to emboss. Doesn't really matter how big this is. This is just going to cover up the messy bit from the flowers. And I think this is really quite sweet because it just looks like, with that little bit of wall there, it just looks like you're looking into a garden. You've got some wildflowers growing. So that's that. And I've got a scrap of white for the sentiment, and I will show you how I managed to get this coloured surround with the lovely Label Me Fancy punch. So I will go off and emboss this bit and then come back and we can do all the colouring and stamping just using Sahara sand, and I am going to use one of the blending brushes. Just go and emboss this and be right back. And there we go, lovely raised detail. So what I'm going to do, I've already got my stamps here, and I'm going to just bring in a little bit of scrap to save my grid sheet, and I'm going to stamp a row of the poppies. That side, and I'm going to pop that about there. Come in there. Oh, leave that open. I'm going to stamp the sentiment on there for the label, and then one last thing with this ink. I'm just going to add some ink to the brick wall, and I'll just give it a little bit of definition, make it a little bit of darker. And I just love these brushes. Probably going to get a little bit inky. That's just lovely. I love that. Have this bit as my top, so I'm just going to come in A little bit heavier on that end. Great. Now that's all done. Close that out. You see, you're going to put that now. I could have actually stamped this a little bit higher up. So what I'm going to do, probably when I come to glue it on, I'm going to put it down there so I can trim down this top bit. But I'll show you what I'm going to do to add some colour. So that hair coming from. I'll just do these little ones here for a minute. And the white on the neutral card just helps the colour show up. I had my monthly catch up with my regular ladies who came to card class before we all went into lockdown, and we made a little card together which was quite fun, the ones that could attend, and we're all looking forward to wondering whether we'll be able to start getting together in the summer for actual face-to-face classes. We can just keep our fingers crossed. My husband and I are still waiting for our second jab. We've had our first one. Hopefully that will come quite quickly. Restrictions are supposed to be easing on next week, and we shall see. Just seems to be going on, and sort of quite scary, the new variants and the situation in India. It's just heartbreaking, and other parts of the world that haven't been able to, or haven't got a health service like ours, and haven't had the government helping them and doing a vaccination program. Right. I was only going to do one and then show you, but there we go. And then just adding some of the colour to those flowers. And I'm going to leave some white, I think that actually makes them look quite nice. Maybe you can, I'm not covering this up in the camera, just a little pop of colour. Really grey and windy here, grey and rainy here today, which is rather disappointing for May. This time last year we were all in t-shirts and shorts and sitting in the back garden. And hopefully that's showing up nicely. Hard to tell when you're actually doing it. I might speed this up. Not much fun watching me colour, is it? Although it does show you how quickly you can get this done. Oh, could you hear my knees creaking then? Dear. My husband's upstairs listening to the radio. See if he can talk to people around the world. That's his hobby. So he leaves me be to do my hobby, which is rather fun. A little bit too much white on that one, and that's really lovely. I'm quite happy with that. So you can see when that is added on the top there, it looks rather lovely. So I am going to, best way I found to do this, I didn't stamp it very straight, did I? Dear me. I'm just going to stick a line of my tear and tape there, and that will hold my brick wall in place. Now I can trim that down. That was my top. Right, get a little trimmer out. Let's check that is on straight there. And we want that to come down to 9.2. There we go. Take the smallest slither, and that is really pretty. Now I'm just going to quickly get my Wink of Stella, make sure that it's clean. I was using it with my red one. I'm just going to quickly, it's running out actually, I need a new one. It gives a little bit of shimmer to each of those centres of those flowers. I'm just going to have a slurp of my tea. Oh. Like a little bit of sparkle. Would you say this? I think this is simple stamping. It's nice and quick anyway. There we go. Give that a quick clean off. Now I want to do the label, so I'm going to bring in my label punch and we will stick that there. And you'll see on my other one I had a red border round, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to stick that in there. This is going to be, the inside is going to be covered up, so it doesn't really matter, and I want 2 of those. Once that's on there, you will never know, look. And in fact that can be glued down now, but what I did with this is I cut one that way and one lengthways, and then we can glue it together. So I'm going to put a bit of glue on these bits. And on this bit I'm just going to go round the outside so I don't make a mess on my grid paper. Lovely. And because I've sponged that, look, it looks slightly different, so I quite like that. And then for my label, I'm hoping you can see this. I'm going to put that there. Need to be a little bit more patient. And let the glue dry, give it a little squeeze, and then you can add those on. And that, I think, just gives a really lovely background colour to your label. So then I've got a bit of twine. This is the linen thread, and I'm going to put that round a couple of times. This is where I get all fingers and thumbs. There we go. Trim that off, and then you can work out exactly where you want that. I'm going to pop that on dimensionals. So I've got, let's get some dimensionals here. Oh, put that on the right way up. Put that over there so that it's bridging that, and then I'm going to pop this on. Where's my base? There's my base. So I'm going to reinforce that score, and then going to make sure that there's sufficient so that we don't have a saggy bit. I've had a busy week this week and I've been busy making cards recently for birthdays. It's my nieces and nephews' 17th birthday coming up at the end of the month. So I'll be sharing the cards that I made for them with you later in the month. Once I know that they've got them, hopefully they'll arrive safely. That's it. Perfect. Look at that. Now what do you think? Which is your favourite? I mean, I like the red, but I also like that one as well. I haven't put any gems on. I'm just keeping it very simple. But there we go. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you again soon. There will be links in the description box below to my online store and my blog, so you can have a look exactly all the measurements and then click through if you wish to purchase anything. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, then please do. I try to do a video once a week on a Sunday, and I will see you again next week. Thanks for watching. Bye bye for now.